So, guys, hi, how are you all doing? I am coming up on here and I am going to be talking off the top of my head about a topic that you all see a lot throughout my community page, throughout my playlist, if you all visit it at all, and throughout some of my shorts. It is a very unpopular and negative topic, and that's just what it is, guys. There's no way to butter this up, no way to make it appeasing or appealing to anybody, because it is a negative thing. Me coming on to talk about this, I sometimes have to gather myself, because those of us who've been through it, you guys know. So give me a second, please. Let me just gather myself a little bit about this, because I haven't really prepared anything. I just I just gotta come on and talk about it for a little bit. So give me a minute, I'll be back. Thank you, guys. So this topic is on the topic, and for the first time I am going to say this word. I think I slipped up and said it once before. I've been shortening it because I myself have had to warm myself up to saying this word in public because it's literally like profanity now. It is so negative a topic. And everything associated and that comes with it is very negative. And that word is narcissism. For those of us who've dealt with narcissism on whatever scale, on whatever level, it could be the most minute of levels. Guys, it has affected you tremendously. Now, there is a lot of information out there from experts, from doctors, from people's own life experiences, which I think is the best, let me tell you. But, you know, you can agree to disagree with me on that. And I would never um, tell you not to listen to the doctors on this, because they're actually the authorities on this. They have done the research and they really know. But listening to people's life experiences brings it home to you guys. And it takes a lot to even listen to that, because the things that people have gone through. Why am I talking about this topic now? Whew. I am talking about this topic because I do not, I deeply, in my heart of hearts, I do not want anybody else to get hurt by this. And guys, I know that I can't save the world from narcissism. It's not my job, guys, and I think it's impossible. It's I don't wanna I don't wanna use profanity, but it's it's dang near impossible to save this world or anybody, you know, everybody, to save everybody from narcissism. And one of those crucial reasons is, I am going to go way off base here. For some of you guys, y'all are gonna wonder, what is Wild Honey talking about? And by the way, I am Wild Honey. For those of you who might be new to my channel, I am Wild Honey, aka Honey Pepper. You can call me Honey Pepper or Wild Honey. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, guys. I do like wild honey more. I have a bias to that, but I don't mind you calling me honey pepper at all. I actually love that too. Guys, I am I am going to go a little bit off base here. It's really not that off base, huh? To be honest, if you really think about it. And I am going to say that I really shouldn't say this. But for those of you who get it, you get it, right? Look around at the world today and see what it is happening in this world today. Look at people's attitudes. And if you know anything about the last days, we living in the last days, what the sign of the last days will be, you would know that we are living in the last days. People are lovers of themselves. They are unthankful, disloyal. They have no natural affection and all of this, right? A lot of that ties into narcissism in some way, shape, or form. And why is that? Here's where it's a little bit off base for you. Because this world, according to the scriptures, is run by a wicked spirit person. And in my opinionation, this spirit person is the epitome of narcissism. Matter of fact, this wicked spirit creature is has this wicked spirit creature is not even just narcissistic. It is a lot narcissistic, but it is also psychopath. Psychopathic. Y'all are like, oh my god, she's lost it, she's bonkers. Guys, follow me here. If you know anything about psychopathy and narcissism, you can follow my reasoning, right? That wicked spirit creature is Satan the devil. Yes. A lot of y'all don't think that Satan is real. Satan is very real. And Satan has a lot of psychopathic tendencies, psychopathy, and narcissistic tendencies. Like, I know you cannot associate that with a spirit creature because a spirit creature is not human, but following the reasoning, Satan is a mass murderer. Okay? Psychopathic people feel nothing about taking life. Narcissistic people, they are very manipulative, pathological liars, sense of self-importance, all of that. If you know who Satan is and what his mechanisms are, you will understand the comparison that I'm making to him when it comes to psychopathy and narcissism. Let me get off of that topic right now with Satan. But I said all of that to say this world is ran by this wicked spirit creature. And if you want proof of that, you can look at 1 John 5, verse 19. Guys, I just went off on a tangent and said that because, as I was saying, it is impossible to save people from narcissism, from encountering it. Right? I mean, it is not impossible to save them, but it's impossible to save everybody because inevitably, a lot of you are going to encounter narcissism in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You're going to encounter it in a relationship, which I pray for you. That is the worst place that you can encounter narcissism, in your relationship. And I'm talking about a committed relationship such as a marriage. Guys, I pray for you with that. You can encounter it in school. You can encounter it on your job. You can encounter it in your friendships. You can encounter it in your extended family. You can encounter it in your religion. You can encounter it by just an acquaintance you meet on the street or somewhere. Guys, narcissism is everywhere, unfortunately. Right? And there is a lot of information out there on narcissism. So I don't want to be just another person talking about all of what narcissistic people have done and what they can do and what they will do, because literally they all play by the same playbook. That being said, this is what I really want to say about this. I want people to start to, first of all, stop being apathetic to narcissism. Stop the apathy. That is what I really want people to do, you know. Because the more people that are less apathetic, the more people that know about this, what are the signs of narcissism, how to avoid it or how to handle them, or how to, if you choose to, practice radical acceptance, the less hurt more people will be from this particular personality disorder. Yes, it is a personality disorder. Guys, I am not the most educated person on this field, in this topic, right? I don't have no bachelor degree in it, no doctorate in it, no associate degree in it. All I have is who I affectionately call my YouTube professors on it, and some life experiences on it, which I think is enough. If you want to get paid from this kind of stuff, you need to prepare your mental to deal, because this stuff is very, very negative. You all saw who I made the comparison to. That wicked spirit creature. Can it get more negative than that? I think not. Guys, I hope I don't get flagged or people think I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on this, talking about narcissism, psychopathy, and comparing it to Satan the devil. Guys, it makes, if you reason along those lines, you will see what's the word? I'm trying to say logic. Yes, you will see the logic. What was I trying to say? You will see the logic in this. Guys, please educate yourselves. And why should you educate yourself? Not only because you are most definitely bound to encounter it, but like I said, you would be able to first of all, avoid it. Because that's the goal here. That's the goal here, especially in a committed relationship such as a marriage. Guys, listen. I know of experiences personally. Hold on, my foot is cramping a little bit, because you don't want to know how I'm sitting down on this bed right now. Okay, guys, I know of experiences of people close to me, and I don't know, I've said this in so many words in a couple of videos or so before, that have gotten in committed relationships. Yes, I'm talking about marriage, with narcissistic people. Now, guys, let me tell you something. Narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder is something that has to be diagnosed by a professional, a doctor. We are not going out around here diagnosing people. We are not out here diagnosing people. But we definitely can spot narcissistic traits, especially high levels of it. And guys, listen, NPD is not something that if even a person suspect that they have that they are going to go to a professional. Guys, and people with NPD, they do not want to ever think that anything is wrong with them. Yes, wrong with them. If you have to go to a professional to find out that, listen, you are going to have to be in lifelong therapy because you have a disorder that is blowing up all your relationships and will forever make you unhappy unless you address it. It's something that people with NPD never want to hear. Why are you saying that, well, honey? Because these people will not go to get diagnosed and understand that they have a issue, a problem. And people say that it's not important that they know this. It's not important that they get the diagnosis. And I somewhat agree with that because toxic traits are toxic traits. So, granted, we're not going to be out here calling people, and we are advised not to do this either if we suspect that a person might be narcissistic, to tell them that. But we are definitely out here trying to educate ourselves on when we spot that in people. Things like lack of empathy, that is a huge one. Guys, I never knew it, that people can lack empathy. And a famous doctor here on YouTube, I don't want to call her name because I don't want to misquote her, right? But she said something akin to that it's not that, because some people say that they don't have empathy. It's not that they don't have it, people. They lack it. Meaning that they have empathy, but they refuse to use it when it is called for. Can you, guys, take a minute to process that, because to me it's mind-blowing that people can do such a thing. A situation calls for your empathy, and you choose not to show it. I've experienced that. Guys, I had a conversation with someone, and this person, I was in tears. I was pouring my heart out to this person. And yes, this person was listening, right? It wasn't a face-to-face conversation, right? It was over the phone. But guys, there are a lot of things that were said and a lot of things that weren't said. The things that were said showed lack of empathy. The things that weren't said were the things that were to be said that would show empathy. Let me repeat that. There were a lot of things that were said and a lot of things that wasn't said. When I say the things that were said, they showed lack of empathy. I don't want to get in depth into what that conversation was, but it was a lot of essentially confirming their happiness about was what they were experiencing at the time. But I was in tears and heartbroken about that very thing, right? And they showed no empathy. There was nothing said to calm me, to soothe me, to make me feel better. Nothing. It was pure silence. And I thought to myself, how could a person that know how I feel about them for the longest while, that know that should understand something like this, how it would affect someone. It simply calls for putting yourself in that person's shoes, which people, some people do not understand how to do. And this is what I'm getting at. There are people, literal people in the world that do not understand how to show empathy. And even if they do, they refuse to do it. That is the height, guys, of narcissism. It is huge. You can disagree because you can talk about the sense of entitlement, the need for admiration, the manipulation, the the self-importance, all the other stuff. But to me, the biggest thing, and it was the shocker of my life, is that a person can lack empathy. Guys, I want you all to understand this, because this can depending on the situation you find yourself in, this is something that can cause you a lot of pain. A lot of pain. These people will be in a committed relationship with you, and because they lack empathy, they will go out and hurt you with no qualms about it, and come back and try to gaslight you about that. And gaslight meaning making you doubt your reality. This is how, this is the levels that they can get to, guys. And guys, like I said, I am not very well educated. I don't know all about it. And it is gonna take a forever video if we were to go on and on and on about this. And it is so negative that I really do not want to be the one going on and on about this. When, guys, listen, I just started my channel. Hold on. Yeah, I just started my channel. My channel hasn't, it's not a big channel. It's not gaining any traction really on anything, because it's just about me and whatever I'm doing. Really, it's about my healing journey as of now, right? And when I tell you, if I nobody, because I make shorts, a lot of shorts, right, about this topic. And shorts is something that is not for a consistent audience, because shorts go out to anyway, right? So anybody could see. I mean, it's what am I trying to say? Shorts is not something that your subscribers, in my, I'm not sure about the whole YouTube thing, but what I feel is like the shorts go out to a lot of new people, right? So it's not something that your subscribers or your viewership will hone in on to continuously watch. They might more look for your videos, and here and there they might look at your shorts. So I'm saying that to say that these shorts go out to consistently a new audience, right? And the thing about it is, the views that come back on it, I don't know if it's because of the apathy of this topic. I really believe so. Um, like I said, I'm not the most educated on it either, but I really believe it's because of the negativity of it that people they don't want to you what I'm trying to say is, for me, I believe that because I have been in the shoes before, I never knew anything about narcissism until I was hurt so badly by it that people would not necessarily want to click on something that sounds negative to them unless they've been touched by it somehow, meaning that they've been hurt by it somehow, right? Because before I got hurt by this, and which is why now I'm so passionate about it. Before I got hurt by this, there was somebody very close to me in a committed relationship going through the worst of this. And when I say the worst of it, they were dealing with somebody malignant. And if you know anything about a malignant narcissist, then you know what I'm talking about. And I mean, I had been going through similar things, but I always found some way to deal with it, even though it would stress me greatly. You understand? I was not in a committed relationship like the person. So they were dealing with it on a different level than me. I was just dealing with it in and around my life, sometimes on the job, sometimes in school, sometimes with family, just everywhere. And I never really could understand why certain things would occur and why certain people exactly would be acting a certain type of way consistently. I would have never pinned this down as a personality problem or a personality disorder. Guys, I am not ready to tell that story on how I discovered personality disorder. Disorders exist. The way I discovered that, it was very, very painful. And it was only then I was able to now, by that time, the person had been exiting this malignant narcissistic relationship, but not without enough damage physically and mentally done to them. And I wish I knew what I know. Hindsight is 2020. I wish I knew then what I know now, because I would have been definitely more equipped to help out the situation. And that is the crux of this video right here, why I'm here. I want you guys to know. I want you guys to do the research. Stop the apathy. Stop being apathetic to this, because like I said, inevitably you are going to encounter this in some way, shape, or form or fashion soon. You've probably been dealing with it all your life and you don't know what you're dealing with. More and more in these recent years and times, this kind of stuff is being exposed. More education is coming out, and I am glad to be a part of that, that voice that's going out there to help people. Because guys, the kind of pain, you know how Whitney used to say, "Oh, I never want to feel that kind of pain again." No. I never want to feel that kind of pain again. And I do not want anybody to have to unnecessarily deal with that kind of pain. Guys, there are some of you have gotten into, and about to get into committed relationships with these types of personalities. Guys, it is going to be the not just biggest, the huge, hugest mistake of your entire existence. Once you get entangled with these types, the unraveling process, guys, listen, ask, 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 how does song go? I forgot. But ask around, guys. Ask around about narcissism and people who have gotten into committed relationships with it. Don't study anybody who is ignorant and apathetic and might laugh at you. Oh, that person's a narcissistic. Oh, that's funny. Guys, narcissism is not funny at all. It is not funny. If you are aware of what it is, it's not funny. It's not a game. It's not a joke. This thing, if you look at some of my shorts, have claimed people's lives, people. Literally. Guys, learn to identify the signs of narcissism. Learn. You do not want to get. You have to learn how to stay calm and deal with people like this. You cannot get into any guys. You make the mistake and get involved in an argument with this type, you will become exhausted. They will word salad you to death. You can't win. No argument with these people. You shouldn't even try. Emotion is something that you should never show these people. You have to be matter-of-factly with these people. They thrive off of your emotion. Dog whistling you, all these guys. When it amazes me how some people could laugh at narcissism as if it's a joke at the word narcissistic, narcissism, not anything that has to do with narcissism. Anybody that can laugh at that, to me, they look very uneducated to me. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry for these people. Because either one, they are narcissists themselves, or two, they just uneducated and will inevitably be hurt very badly by a narcissist. Guys, please. I like I said, I don't want to be one of these videos coming out here just telling you all of what these narcissistic people do, what they have done to people, what they could do, what they will do. Because they all do the same thing. I want you to educate yourself so that you don't get hurt by these people. I want you to stop the apathy. Stop the apathy and start learning about personality disorders. They come in 3 clusters. Cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. And like I always say, in my opinionation, cluster B is one of the most difficult to deal with, especially, I used to call it category N previously, but now I will tell you, especially narcissism. Psychopathy, I believe, is also in cluster B. But guys, you must be able to identify that and take flight. So we're not even going to go there. guys, because that's literally your life in danger there. But we are talking about narcissism, because this one is very, in some cases, very subtle. There are a lot that comes under there. If you educate yourself, you will see that there's grandiose, overt, covert, and sometimes they call the covert one vulnerable narcissist, which I'm just like, what? There's the communal, the self-righteous. Guys, a ton for you to educate yourself. And they all exist. Easy for you to identify the grandiose one and just be annoyed, roll your eyes, and just get away from them. But you see that vulnerable, covert one? Hey, guys, a lot of you all have dealt with that one. A lot of you all don't know what it is to practice radical acceptance if you choose to stay with somebody like that. Guys, guys, please educate yourself on this thing. It is so important. I am pleading for you all to do this. Guys, the things I know that the people, yes, they weren't diagnosed with NPD. Even if, and guys, that is a whole nother kettle of fish. You cannot force these people. And when I say force, I mean you've dealt with them. You've recognized something is off. You want them to get help. And so now you are pushing and pleading and begging, and in some instances you want to drag them to the therapist yourself. Guys, you cannot. These people must want to do that of their own initiative. And if they don't want to do that, guys, that is a person that does not, they're comfortable with their narcissism. They do not want to get help. They are going to be stuck in their ways. And here is where you have to make an ultimate decision. Are you going to practice radical acceptance like what's in my description and stay with these guys prepared to know what you have to do to handle it? Or are you going to take flight? Because if you don't know what you need to do, you are going to be driven insane. And that is no exaggeration, no embellishment. Guys, please. I never, if you could see my heart, I never know that I could come on here in the public and beg for people to educate yourself on personality disorders. Please educate yourself. And please, people, when you educate yourself, let the truth be heard. Put it out there. Let people know. Okay, guys, do not come on here. Do not come on here just complaining about, oh, they did this, they gaslight me, they manipulate this, they take my land, house, car, this, they do it. No. Come on here and try to help more people understand how to identify the signs of narcissism. Help people understand how to deal with narcissism in their life if they choose to practice radical acceptance and stay with these type of people. That is the type of education that is needed when it comes to this kind of stuff. Help people to identify the signs before they get involved with people like this, so that they can make the informed decision and choice not to get involved in it if they choose to. Help them understand the subtleties of this thing. Help people to understand that when you decide to get to know somebody, the first thing that should be popping up in your head, people, the first thing that should be popping up in your mind is, what kind of personality am I dealing with here? Yes, it is the first thing now that pops in my head. What kind of personality am I really dealing with? And once you ask yourself that question, you are now going to slow down and try to get to understand, hey, suppose this is somebody narcissistic I might be dealing here with. Let me slow down and look at this, observe this personality objectively without any feelings first. And guys, a key thing for you to be looking for is, does this person have empathy? That is crucial. You guys need to find ways to test for empathy in people. Yes, I'm telling you all this. And yes, all of these narcissistic people might be out here listening, laughing at me and saying all kinds of things. I don't really care. I want the people who this message is going to reach to, and they are going to take the sense out of nonsense. Understand what I'm saying to you all. The ones that know, the ones that care, the ones that don't want to be hurt. I am talking to you guys, not the ones out there laughing and taking this as a joke and wondering and looking to nitpick at things in this video. I'm not talking to those guys. They are very immature. I am talking to the guys, the people out there who have either, one, been hurt by narcissism, is trying to avoid this, have some sense of it because they heard it in some family member or friend or somebody. I am talking to you guys who want to be educated about this. Guys, you need to slow down, ask yourself the question, learn to test for empathy. That is crucial. If a person lacks empathy in 1, 2, 3, too many situations, guys, that should raise a red flag in your head. Now you are going to be looking, does this person have a sense of entitlement? Does this person have a need to be admired all the time? Does this person manipulate? Does this person gaslight? Does this person have a sense of entitlement? Guys, educate yourself so that you will be able to look for the signs. This is not just in relationships. It is most important, in my opinion, nation, especially if you're going to get involved in a committed relationship, because that's your life. That is your entire life. But you are going to equip yourself so that you can look for it on the jobs. And okay, let me clarify it, because my first YouTube professor, I affectionately call them professors, always say, we're not here on the planet to look for narcissism. We are not looking for it. So don't be out here just, oh my gosh, I wonder who this person is. I wonder if this person narcissistic. I wonder if that one narcissistic. Oh my God, who's this? Who's that? We're not looking for narcissism. But if we happen to encounter a person that is going to be somehow instrumental or important in our life, we have got to ask that question to ourselves. We are not going out here to diagnose anybody, and we are not outside here to call them a narcissist. That's dangerous in many, many circumstances. Don't do that. But you are asking yourself the question, if this person is going to be instrumental in your life some way, somehow. You are going to find this in every aspect of your life. School, jobs, religion, relationships, everywhere. You could go to Timbuktu. You could go into Timbuktu and you will meet a narcissist. You will meet I have no doubt they live over there too. This is why it's so important. And all of the cluster personalities, because some people have issues with avoidance, and I don't know all of the cluster A and the cluster C, because cluster B is the one that affected me the most, especially narcissism. Guys, you've heard me tell you all the story in so many words, in so many videos, in the few videos I have out there. I don't go into details because I don't think it's necessary to give identities to people. You know, I am not about, like I always say, throwing people under the bus. So I am going to be vague about the things, the details that I went through. I will give you all a overall picture of it, because there are lessons to be learned, and that is what I focus on the most when I'm telling you all about the experiences. Yes, you all are going to hear how heartbroken I was about it. You all are going to know that it was just basically a one-sided, unrequited. And when I say unrequited, when I say unrequited, I am saying that I had feelings for the person, but they did not have feelings for me. So it was somewhat of unrequited love, right? And it was just one-sided. So that is as much detail that I would give about the situation, right? But the lessons in them is that I had no idea what the spectrum of narcissism was. I didn't know mirroring was something that these people can do. I did not know love bombing was something that they could do. I didn't know that discarding was, guys, what? I didn't know looking for new supply was something that I didn't know anything about being a grade or high grade supply. I had no idea. And guys, you can fall into these kind of terms unintentionally, unknowingly. You can fall into some of these things. You can be, guys, the narcissist holds a mirror up to you. You can be falling in love with yourself, beloved. You can be falling in love with yourself and you don't know, because they mirror you. This is why I say, and guys, that is crazy. A person mirroring the love you have for them but doesn't have it truthfully for you. What kind of, they don't have an identity. If they, like, you hear about chosen ones, these people sometimes guys, let's, you have got to educate yourself. This is a plea for you to educate yourselves on NPD and personality disorders. Educate yourselves on personality disorders. Why? We are dealing with people in the world and everybody have a personality. But not everybody have a personality disorder. Quite a few people do though. Quite a few people do. And this is where you need to be educated. Because if something happens once, twice, 3 times, and it consistently happens throughout your knowing this person, it is now a pattern. And if it is something negative, you have got to look into personality disorders. I feel this is the thing that is causing the apathy with people, that they are not understanding why they must know about personality disorders. They are not understanding how it affects them. I think that was the thing with me. I did not know that a personality can have a disorder. What? I didn't know personalities presented a issue. I just thought that, this is a trait of somebody. But I really find that this was on a consistent basis. And I would never have been able to put the words personality and disorder and attach it to that thing, to that person. Guys, when you get to understand that personalities have disorders, it opens up the entire world to you. And according to my professor, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And you are now able to understand. Guys, and it's going to take you some time. You're not going to be a professional on avoiding narcissism from the minute you start knowing about it or you get to hear about it. It's going to take you some time. The professionals still have issues with even diagnosing. Some of them are they are dang near scared at times to actually hand down the diagnosis of a personality disorder such as NPD. So you're not going to be a professional about this, but you are going to be educated enough in that if you miss one, you will catch the other one, right? If you slip up and you let this person into your life, you will pick up on it and you can make a decision. That could either be radical acceptance, meaning that you are prepared to deal with what this is. You know what it is and you are prepared to deal with it. Or you can plan your exit and get out and save yourself a lot of heartache and pain. Right, guys? I don't know, right? Save yourself a lot of heartache and pain. It's not a joke, guys. I might be laughing. I might be trying to make this video fun for you guys. But it is so crucial. I had to get it out. I've been dancing around this topic. I didn't even want to say the name of it for so long, guys. To this day, I haven't heard anybody around me mention the words personality disorder. I haven't heard anybody around me. And I am talking about my wider circle. I am talking about my school, my job. I am talking about my religion. I haven't heard anybody in my inner circle. Nobody talks about personality disorders or narcissism. Guys, that is to tell you how many people, they either don't know, they're either apathetic about it, or they just don't want to talk about it. They're trying to hide it. That is dangerous, in my opinionation. Guys, talk about this thing. And don't talk about, like I said, as in complaining about the playbook. The playbook is going to be the playbook, meaning they all do the same thing, act the same way, in various scenarios, right? There's a variance. What I'm trying to say, it's not all of them are the same, and not all of them act the same all the time, but they act the same most of the time. So the playbook is identifiable, right? But we're not coming on here to talk about the playbook. We are coming on here to tell people, the more you know, the more you the more you know, the more you educate yourself, the less likely you are to end up in a devastating situation that you cannot come out of because you were not educated on personality disorders such as cluster B, such as narcissism. There is histrionic, there is borderline, there is psychopathy, like I was saying, and a couple others. But those others, to me, they're easy. Borderline, okay, I'm either going to deal with this or I'm not going to deal with it. And it is one of the most difficult to treat I've heard, right? Psychopathy, you already know the deal. Histrionic, but you see that thing called narcissism, especially what they call covert or vulnerable. These people can be very subtle. They can be very subtle. It is why it is so important for you to be able to identify what and who, what is happening and who they are. Understand the subtleties of it so you can see who is a covert narcissist, a vulnerable narcissist, because grandiose, you will know them. Okay, overt, you might need to do a little education and stuff. Self-righteous, yes, you're going to know them. But you see, I am telling you all about that covert, which is sometimes called vulnerable narcissists. They can be very, very subtle. Guys, educate yourself on all of the cluster personalities. And if you ask me, I will say particularly cluster B, especially narcissism. They are the ones, guys. You can, if you get involved with these guys, according to the saying in my country, crapo smoke your pipe, you know. Crapo smoke your pipe. People, or they could laugh, or they could share this video and make fun of it, or they could do what all you want, but all they will understand what Wild Honey telling all you, when all you unfortunately get hurt by this thing. Wild Honey was hurt by it. Yes, I'm referring to myself in the third person. I was hurt by this thing. And I just don't want you all to feel that kind of pain that I went through. All my life I've been dealing with this, like I said, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But it didn't hurt me until I fell so deeply for this person. And I was just left confused. I just, guys, I was so lost. The conversation, it gave me some answers, some clues. Not because the person was actually giving me answers, but like I said, it was the things that was said and the things that was unsaid that gave me some clues to this. Like, what really is going on here? And how could this person display such actions and not think or feel how this could affect or hurt other people? To me, they were moving like a bull in a china shop. So many people loved this person, yet their actions were so callous to me. I was like, I just couldn't believe my eyes, my ears. I could not believe. And it sent me down like, it sent me down a rabbit hole of questions. I just had questions upon questions upon questions. I asked my spiritual leaders. They helped me understand some things, but I still wasn't getting the answers that were fulfilling to me. My friend, she was there, but I still wasn't getting the answers. And I started typing questions into Google, into YouTube, into everything, and I stumbled upon Andrew from Knock Daily. And guys, that was when I got all the boxes checked. That was when I knew exactly what was happening here. Guys, I am telling you, you do not want to be in that position to be confused, to then start asking questions. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up now. I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. All right, guys.